limit at the point. Horizontal asymptote is limit approaches infinity for the function. So firstly, if you want to find the point, we start from domain of the function. So function is undefined because this function is rational, function pecahan. Kalau pecahan, it will be undefined when denominator equals to 0. Therefore, it is undefined when x squared minus 4x equals to 0. So, factorize, we can find out two values. One is x equals to 0, another one is x equals to 4. So, we can analyze limit for x approaches 4 for the function and limit for x approaches 0. And then we see the domain. Alright, domain of the function, iaitu kita nak tahu function kita, graph kita wujud di mana. Ada bahagian yang tak wujud, ada bahagian yang ada graph. Alright, if the graph is undefined ataupun if the function is not in the domain, means the limit also cannot find. Kalau dalam domain tu tak ada, bermaksud kat situ memang tak akan ada graph. So kat situ memang tak boleh nak cari limit. Faham? Faham? So, domain of the function, selain penyebut ni, tak boleh sama dengan kosong, betul? So, x tak boleh sama dengan kosong, x tak boleh sama dengan 4. So, for these two value, we will take it to find is it vertical asymptote happen. Is it vertical asymptote? So, beside that, you can see under the cert, in our domain under the cert, it must be more than equal 0. So, your x must be more than equal 3. Alright? Alright? So, when you find out this, if you find out this point, after we getting this point, means we have 0, we have 3, we have 4. Our graph starting more than equal to 3. Our graph will maybe have a asymptote at 0. Maybe we have an asymptote at 4. So when you observe here, bila kita punya graph more than equals to 3, is it valid for x equals to 0 here? No. Alright, so therefore we just analyze for this part. So therefore we will start analyze limit when x approaches 4 from the left hand side, because for this area, for this x equals to 4, near to the 4 here, we have graph. We have graph, this means we can find the asymptote. We can find the limit of the function. Boleh tengok function tu nak ke mana. Ada domain maksudnya ada graph. Ada graph, kita boleh tengok lah dia function dia nak ke mana dalam asymptote tu. Okay, so limit for x approaches 4 for the function. When we substitute 4 inside, it is 1 over 0. 1 over 0 is equals to infinity. Then we test our calculator. 4 from the left hand side. We test for the value 4 from the left hand side, this side. So we test for 3.999. Positive or negative? Answer? Negative. Then we calculate limit for x approaches 4 from the right hand side. Same also, we substitute 4 into the limit, it will be 1 over 0. So 1 over 0, infinity. Then we test value. Press your calculator, we test the value x equals to 4.001. We substitute into the x here. You can see a big value, a big answer. So the big answer is positive or negative? Positive. So we can see when x approaches 4 from the left from the right, our graph go infinity, right? Means that x equals to 4 is a vertical asymptote. Then when we want to analyze, just now got two value. 4 we already analyze, kita dah buat kiri kanan macam mana graph dia pergi kan. Dia pergi infinity, maksudnya itulah asymptote dia. So now we analyze for this. When x approaches 0 from the left hand side, what happened? Do we need to calculate? Bahagian kosong sini. Do we need to calculate? Can we calculate? Can we calculate? Is it our function axis? Is it function in our domain? Tak ada function pun dalam domain, betul? Domain kita start daripada lebih daripada 3. Tak sama dengan kosong. Tak sama dengan 4. So you nak cari limit area kosong tu ada ke function? Tak ada. So for this limit, it does not exist. Same also when we want to analyze for the x approaches 0 from the right hand side. It is also not in the domain of the function. Bermaksud kat area situ tak ada graph pun. Kalau kat area situ tak ada graph, bermaksud bahagian sini memang tak wujud benda. Tak ada graph. Tak ada graph, you tak boleh nak cari limit. Tak ada dalam domain. So akhirnya tinggal only leaving x equals to 4 is your vertical asymptote. Alright? Then we proceed for horizontal asymptote. Horizontal asymptote calculation will be limit for x approaches negative infinity for the function, and limit for x approaches positive infinity for the function. We try to put in your limit infinity. Limit negative infinity, is it axis? You tengok domain kita. Ada belah kiri-kiri sini ke? Tak ada, function tak ada. So, limit you nak cari belah kiri-kiri x approaches negative infinity, ini pun keadaan, this is also in the situation, function is not in the domain. Limit is not in the domain. So, this also does not exist. So, tinggal belah kanan saja. Belah kanan, from the right hand side here, x approaches positive infinity, bolehlah kita tengok graph tu nak ke mana sebab kita ada domain, betul? X nilai tu dalam domain, dia boleh pergi nilai x besar-besar. So when you substitute your x infinity masuk, apa jadi? Substitute infinity minus infinity, IDF, betul? Okay, then when we meet this IDF situation, how we simplify? Bahagi the highest power of the x. Betul? IDF untuk infinity sentiasa bahagi something x. Something divided by the x. So, apa yang kita boleh bahagi di sini? Apa yang kita boleh? X square. Kalau you nak bahagi x square, maka dalam set tu dah bahagi berapa? Set x berapa boleh dapat x square? Set X kuasa 4. So, kat luar you bahagi X square. Kat dalam set, kita bahagi set X kuasa 4. So, barulah setara benda ni. Okay. Untuk bahagian yang tak ada set, kita nak bahagi X square. Bahagian ini penyebut tak ada set, betul? Kita tak bahagi X square. Tapi kita nak masuk bumbung. So, bila kita masuk bumbung, dia bersamaan dengan square root berapa? Dia bersamaan square root berapa? Square root X kuasa 4 bersamaan dengan X square lah, betul? Betul? So, bila kita bahagi gitu, bermaksud dalam bumbung, kita bahagi X kuasa 4. Baru setara. Kat luar kita bahagi X square. X square adalah sama dengan square root X kuasa 4. So, you masuk bumbung set, mesti ada bahagi dengan bumbung set. Baru you baru boleh masuk bumbung set bahagi. Dan bila kita simplify this, ini kuasa 3. Ini tinggal 1. This one. So, your remaining limit X approaches infinity, 1 over X cubed minus 3 over X4 over 1 minus 4 over X. So, evaluate your limit. When you substitute infinity, 0. 0 minus 0, 0. Set 0, 0. Evaluate your infinity, put here 4 over infinity, 0. So 1 minus 0. So 0 over 1, 1. From this result, what can we conclude? Bila kita buat limit infinity, apa yang kita boleh conclude? Yes, y equals to 1 is horizontal asymptote. 0 over 1, 0, right? Okay? Okay? Okay, saya nak tambah soalan. Kita lukis graf. Tak sempurna lah kalau kita cari asymptote tapi kita tak tahu lukis graf. Okay, kita sambung soalan ini. Dia boleh tanya macam mana kita nak lukis graf. Sebab you dah kira, we already know vertical asymptote sini berlaku macam mana, horizontal asymptote sini berlaku macam mana, dan kita tahu domain. We know that domain adalah more than 3 kan? So maksudnya kita punya graf adalah start daripada nilai 3 ke kanan. So what is your starting point? Start daripada 3, betul? So kita nak tahu lah starting point dia kat mana. What's your starting point when x equals to 3? Apa koordinat y dia? Apa starting point dia? Kosong, betul? Betul, betul. So 3, 0 adalah starting point kita nak lukis graf. Dan kita plot apa maklumat yang kita ada. 3, 0 starting point. Wujudkan point ni. Included kan? Included or not? Included or not? Included. Bila the point is included means it will start with 10 circle. Titik hitam. Ada beza ya. Kalau included 10 circle. Kalau tak included, titik bulat saja, kan? And then apa lagi? What else we can see? We have a asymptote. We have vertical asymptote that happen at x equals to 4. So we draw this vertical asymptote x equals to 4. And we have a horizontal asymptote which is happen at y equals to 0. So we have these two asymptotes. Okay. Okay. Then we read out. When your limit x approaches 4 from the left hand side, this side, where's your graph going? When you come to the x from the left hand side, your graph is going negative infinity. Means your graph is going downward. Dia nak turun ke bawah lah. Asymptote. Right? And then when your limit approaches 4 from the right hand side, your graph is going positive infinity. So means your graph is going upwards ini. Ekor asymptote ada di atas. And then when your limit go to the infinity, x pergi infinity, maksudnya x pergi sekanan yang boleh. Ini terlalu pendek, saya panjangkan sikit. So kalau dia nak pergi sekanan yang boleh, what happen? What happen? It will approaches 0. It will approaches 0. So it will come near to the 0. Then we check, ada tak intersect? Ada tak dia akan sentuh x-axis? So we check for x. Intersect is counting when y equals to 0. So set x minus 3 over x squared minus 4x equals to 0. What happened? Kita carikan, kita pindah, dapat set. Macam ni, betul? Pindahkan square root, hilangkan square root, square both side. Square both side, kosong. 0 square both side. Still 0, betul? Then x equals to 3. So hanya satu titik ini saja yang akan sentuh x-axis, yang akan intersect dekat x-axis. Maka kita punya graf bolehlah lengkuk menghampiri kosong. Bermaksud dia tak akanlah macam ni. Faham? Dia tak akan intersect baru menghampiri. Boleh? So your graph, when you going positive infinity, it will get near to the 0. So lastly, label function. Fx. So make sure you label your graph. X-axis, y-axis, asymptote, titik mulanya,